Obviously, you know, when things get a little bit heated, it's always very difficult, but thank you for coming back in. And I just want to go back. I've written in my notes here, can I find out a little bit more about your family history?
Well, certainly. So I've got 3 sisters. My mother and father, obviously, I live with them. I've been brought up by very, very strong women, so dealing with Deborah is not a problem at all. I believe she's actually a strong woman. That's part of the reason why I got with her. Obviously, I'm Ghanaian as well. I'm really traditional, but there is some modifications because obviously I was born and brought up in London, so.
Has Deborah met your family?
Jamel?
Not yet.
And why is that, Jamel?
We've had this discussion before. So I feel with Deborah, because she's just very loud, I should say. There's times where...
Loud?
Yeah, loud. I feel like there's moments of times where you kind of have to balance the two. You need to know your place in terms of being loud and then being quiet. And I feel like at this current moment of time, I don't think she'll not exactly clash per se with my parents or my family, but I feel like there's things that she kind of has to show.
But what are you worried about?
I just want to make sure that she gets it right. I feel like my family mean a lot to me.
And mine don't, because you've met my family. Jamel has met my family. He met my family, I'll say, like the first 3 months in. Like,
but me, you are different.
I don't really understand. He seems to be really particular about his family. Like, we all have family.
Yeah, I get
You've met my family, and if you're trying to take me seriously, then I'm not really understanding.
Wait, let me reassure you something.
Why?
Yeah? Understand this. This is my 4th relationship. I don't want to go even further, so I want to make sure that when you come and see my family, it's prim and proper. I'm not here to be doing dibble, dabble, bringing new girls here.
We've been together for a year.
Yeah.
Surely I should have met your family by now. I'm not being funny, but Jamel has never seen me in a situation whereby I have to calm myself or like in a situation with a parent or a family member. So I'm not really sure where he's getting the fact that I'm gonna be like super loud or disrespectful. I 100% think he's making excuses. I don't know why he doesn't want to bring me around his family, but it's definitely shady.
Is this a problem for you?
100%. It makes me feel like he's, again, not serious and trying to keep me away from his family. Like, everyone's family is important to them, and that's why, because I knew that, you know, Jamel's the guy for me, yeah. I made sure that he met my parents 3 months in. But for me, for us to be together a year, like coming up to a year and a month now, for me to have not met his family, I think that's quite ridiculous. And on top of that, for him to say that because I'm loud, that's got nothing to do with it. You haven't even tried or seen me in that setting to prejudge and now say that because I'm loud, I can't meet your family.
Babe, I know you. Like, don't make it seem like I'm not like some random boy from your past or whatever. Like, I know you. Oh yeah, you know us Ghanaians and Nigerians, like, obviously Nigerians are a bit loud. Well, Deborah is loud personally, so how my parents might take to her is a bit, I don't know. I don't know how she'll actually act in front of my parents, but would my parents take to the fact that she's so loud? I think not.
I know how to be respectful with parents. Do I scream and shout in front of my parents disrespectfully?
But that's your parents.
Okay, I don't even want you to ask that question because I'm going to get annoyed.
Jamal, have your parents questioned whether you have a girlfriend, or have they asked any questions?
A couple questions here and there, but I kind of...
And what have you said?
I've not played it down. I said I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
Yeah, so they know somebody's there, but like...
So now we're seeing each other now?
Gosh, let's...
Oh. Wow. That's interesting to hear.
Is there another reason as to why you might not want to be introducing Deborah to your family?
I just want to make sure I'm getting it right, if I'm going to be honest. Like I said, this is my 4th relationship and I'm hoping for it to be my last. Like, I do see a great future between myself and Deborah. Like, it's not a me and you, it's more like a we thing.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Can you accept that?
No, I don't feel like it's right for you to have met my family and for me to not have met yours. Like,
but we're doing comparison.
And that actually makes me feel quite insecure. It makes me feel quite down.
Culturally, are you the same background, you know, family values, etc.?
I mean, we're both African. I'm Nigerian.
And I'm Ghanaian.
But I don't think that should be a problem. Like, it doesn't make a difference.
You may not feel like that,
Regardless.
but let me be honest with you, yeah? With my parents, like, they're the type of parents that they would expect me to be with another Ghanaian girl. However, their choices is not my choices.
Yeah, and that's more reason why I should meet them earlier so that they're prepared to meet a Nigerian babe.
And I get that, but still, that's still down to me, right? So I can't just leave that into my hands.
So when am I going to meet them then?
Which family member do you want to meet first?
Okay, that's childish. It's not that deep. It's just meet your family.
Well, maybe we'll come back to that another time. But, you know, if you want to talk about it again at any time...
I don't want to talk about it. It's very irritating for me to speak about because it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
You're not making sense right now.
Okay.
Thank you for coming back in. Let me just explain that, you know, these first therapy sessions, it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of emotion involved. Please don't feel that that was an unusual scenario. This kind of thing happens all the time.
It's okay. Right?
Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I said it from the get-go, this whole idea is bullcrap. Now, with Denise herself, like, what? If we kind of check the credentials, which I'm sure when Trauma was booking the session, she didn't do, like, how do we even know she is the right person for the therapy anyway? This is not going to work. This is actually making the situation worse. Like, it's a hot mess.
Going back to a little bit earlier, the social platform that you're on, you know, do you trust her when she's out, I think is probably the best way to ask the question.
Of course.
Right. So if you both trust each other, there shouldn't really be an issue with what's going on outside.
Ideally, there shouldn't be.
Is there anything that's making you feel uncomfortable?
No.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to talk?
No.
If I could just get to the end of my sentence.
I knew what you was going to say.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Babe, discussion. He's going to listen to you.
Is there anything that you'd like to discuss with Shoma regarding your relationship?
No.
Okay, well, I have something I'd like to bring up.
Yeah, go on.
And obviously, I don't mean to trigger you again,
listen.
we're here to kind of discuss our issues. And I want to put it out there. It's a sensitive topic. It's his family. It's his sister, basically.
Sorry?
His sister. For me, I don't want to be rude about it. I just want to get it out because at the end of the day, he doesn't see my point when it comes to this. But poor sister doesn't like me. And I say this because she always has something to say about me. Every time, you know, she sees me, this is someone that knows me off the platform. For example, this is someone that says I don't know how to look after kids. But every given opportunity, she dumps her kids on me. And I'm not using the word dump loosely. She literally just gives me her kids anytime she wants to go out. And he sees it as experience, but to me, it's more of her trying to make me her babysitter. So you don't like me, but you're constantly giving me your children. You think I'm a bad mum or I don't know how to be a mum, but you are forever asking me to babysit your kids. How does that make any sense? How are you sure I'm not out here poisoning them or pinching them and slapping them when you're not around? For me, a mum knows that, okay, my child's happiness is my priority. I don't think she understands that. I don't think she gets that.
Do you both come from an equal number of family members or is it very different? I mean, Paul,
roughly.
What's your background of family?
It's irrelevant.
Well, it might give us all a bit more understanding.
What's going to give us an understanding is she has a problem with my sister, and I'm just finding that out now. Trauma's bringing up my sister randomly. Like, this really doesn't make sense when in real life at home, that's not the case. When my sister's around, everyone's kiki and laughing up at the... And then now we're here, because we're in therapy, all of a sudden she's now an enemy. Like, it just, let's make it make sense. Like, that's very, very playful. And I feel like Trauma's not being practical right now. Like, it's just a messed up situation. Everything's all wrong and it's just negative. Like, there's no positivity in a whole therapy session. There's not one positive thing.
Is there anything else that makes you insecure?
One of the recent issues that we had is Clubhouse again. He actually blocked me on Clubhouse. I made that app quite late and he decided to block me. He has this program that he does, I think Moderation TV. And what they do is they kind of do like a take me out sort of vibe. I don't know if you know the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's always on stage and girls or guys have the opportunity to say whether they, you know, shoot their shot basically at a guy that they kind of fancy. Now, Jamel is on stage because that's his show. But what I realised is that in listening to the show, because he doesn't know that I actually knew that he blocked me because I was with my friend. It's quite a tricky situation. But anyways, I heard the conversation and I heard that fellow members of his team who had girlfriends, if a girl wanted to speak to them, they'll say, okay, he's out of bounds. So the conversation shut down. But Jamel, on the other hand, he doesn't do that. And so girls will be speaking to him. I know you're gonna say it's Clubhouse and I don't care. Girls are still speaking to you and you're entertaining it. I don't like that. And that's something that does make me feel insecure. I'm so sorry I keep bringing up this Clubhouse app, but Jamel blocking me on this platform that he's in love with is absolutely ridiculous, dodgy. Like, I don't understand what he's doing on there, but blocking me is outrageous and I've definitely got my eye on him.
Why are you so fixated on Clubhouse?
Yeah, because you love the app so much.
Denise, okay, with Moderation TV, there's someone called Jamal, and obviously I'm Jamel. So I feel like she's just muddling up the two names, for starters.
No,
And
I'm not. I know your voice.
Babe, please. And me blocking her is just, because she just wants to be so in my social media activity, I feel like I just need the time and space.
No, blocking me is dodgy. Blocking me is dodgy behaviour. That's dodgy behaviour.
Don't you feel like you're just projecting your insecurities?
No, that's dodgy behaviour. Don't block me on social media. That's strange. Another example then, seen as, you know, we were out on a day and Jamel decided to go toilet, but he decided to stop and speak to a young lady whom till this day I don't actually know who she is. And when he came back to the table, I actually asked him, like, okay, what was that conversation about? And he kind of just like brushed it off like it was nothing. But the guy, you were actually gone for 10 minutes, leaving me there. You were speaking to a female. Like, how do you think that makes me feel?
How did you know it was a female?
I could see.
Oh, God.
I could see. As much as he tried to duck and dive behind the waiter, I actually
duck and dive?
I actually saw.
First of all, I'm not shady, and I told her when I came back.
You do shady things. I didn't say you're shady, I said you do shady things.
Okay, cool. It was an old client, and we were just catching up. It wasn't 10 minutes, it was pretty much 3 minutes. We spoke about her weightless journey and how she's keeping.
Okay, so why is it that you can tell Denise, but you can't tell me when I asked you at the restaurant?
Because we're at a date. Like, let's focus on us.
No, when I ask you a question, I'd like for you to answer, please.
Yeah, but I didn't want to spoil the mood. I wanted to focus on us.
Okay, but that spoiled the mood because you didn't answer. You didn't answer when I asked you what you guys were talking about.
Oh, my relationship with my clientele, it's important to me. It's important to them. I have to bond with them. I'm more than just a PT. Like, I always like their therapist, but, bro, it's Deborah. Deborah being Deborah. Just forget about it.
Jamal, are you aware that Deborah's feeling insecure with these different situations? This
is the first time she's actually spoke on her insecurities and given examples, I should say, on how it makes her feel. Like, we spoke about it, but I just thought it's nothing too deep, just brushed it over.
It's nothing too deep. If I'm expressing, and this is where I feel like your anger gets the best of you, because when we discuss such a conversation, it's like he doesn't want to hear it. I think it definitely... No, you don't want to hear it.
Other than him going off at that restaurant with the phone...
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's very happy for you to see what's going on his phone, isn't
Oh, my goodness, definitely not. Definitely not. At the meal, the same day that we were out, Jamel will have his phone on the table down, like literally can't see his notification.
Wait, and do you know why?
Why?
Because you complain about work.
Oh, now you want to twist it, yeah?
No, it's
now
not
you want to twist it.
Oh,
interesting. Gosh. Now you've twisted it.
So Denise, obviously she complains about work so much. I thought, let me just turn my phone over so she doesn't see no notifications.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because you still pull it out, you still open the Clubhouse, you still respond to the messages, and then
what? When I'm on a date with you?
Yes.
So what? Are you trying to tell me that I prioritise Clubhouse over you?
Regardless of the fact I can't see the contents of your phone, I can count on one hand how many times I've touched your phone in 365 days that we've been together, so...
And tell me, Jamal, are you allowed to use or touch Deborah's phone?
I don't need to.
He knows my password.
Yeah, I know your password, but I don't...
Do I know yours?
I think it's open.
Okay. I don't know his password.
Okay.
We were meant to go to Thorpe Park. We went to Thorpe Park. He told her, I don't know why he did, and she was like, oh, take my kids with you. The thing is, I wouldn't mind that if she came with us. Why are we taking her children to Thorpe Park? We're not parents. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not a mum. I feel as though, of recent, I've been sacrificing a lot of my time to look after kids that are not mine.
Okay.
When you become a parent, you make that sacrifice, isn't it? You drop a lot of your life for your children. Why am I doing that without being an actual mum? And the real mum is having fun.
Oh.
Did you have a discussion about this trip to Thorpe Park prior to going?
With him or with his sister?
About the situation, how it was going to happen, that he invited or however it came up?
I didn't know it was happening. He wanted us to go to Thorpe Park. That was good. He went to tell his sister and then she imposed her children on us. Okay. That's just my issue. And it happens many, many times. When they cry, I try and help them. And again, they don't necessarily know. They need their mum, isn't it? Like, every child needs their mum. If I don't know how to shut them up, I'm a bad person. If I don't know how to make her child laugh or smile, I'm a bad person. So why the hell does she keep giving me her children?
Okay, Denise. Wow, I literally didn't expect this. And to be fair, I'm very, very disappointed in you.
Why?
First of all, let's break down the words you're using. Dump. Yeah.
Okay, maybe wrong choice of words, but...
So now, if we're actually speaking about my sister that I love dearly, her children that are practically my children, and you know how much I love her children.
So why are you not taking care of them?
Out of the love that you have for me, you should love them the same and you should look after them because you love me. If you love me and you know how much I love these kids, you look after the kids. If you're talking about my sister's kids, and I know how much I love these kids, she knows how much I love these kids, if you're going to mention them, you need to be delicate, first of all. So at the end of the day, if you're a person and you know you want to have kids with me in the future, come on, like, let's think about how we're going to approach discussing this topic. You can't just talk anyhow. I'm not going to feel like, oh, okay, I want to, try and do something with you if this is your energy towards the... Come on, man.
First of all, I love these children. You know that, okay? I love her kids.
Doesn't seem like it, but go on.
But it does, though. I'm complaining that I'm with them too much because your sister's like, she doesn't value my time. And she's using that as an excuse to drop her kids off to our house.
Drop, you see?
Well, I don't know. What word should I use then?
How often does this happen?
Oh my gosh, like every 2 weeks. And sometimes they may, like on holidays, they may just stay. Do you know what I mean? Over the weekend. And the thing is, she's not at home. She's out with her girls. So I would watch her Snapchat, her Instagram stories. And it's not like I'm having the kids while she's at home. She's having fun. So in other words, we're babysitting for free. Another point. This is why he would never admit that she doesn't like me.
But babe, please. I know you've got points for days, but I just have to kind of just butt in a bit. You know I love you, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I hope so, anyway.
To be honest, I feel like Trauma, she kind of steers, it's like she likes the idea of us being together, married with kids, but I don't think she actually wants kids. Based on how she's describing my sister's kids right now, it's actually a put-off 100%. How do you wake up and speak about kids like this right now? My sister's kids, are you okay?
I'm not disrespecting the children. Neither am I disrespecting your sister. I'm about to, though. That's why we're bringing up this point.
You're not going to do anything. Let me tell you what's wrong with Trauma, right? All right, cool. So one Christmas, a couple Christmases ago, she came round to the families. I'm a tiny bit of a chef, but the ladies cooked for the day. I let them have the kitchen. So now, Trauma specifically made pasta bake, okay? But it's a Nigerian household. So majority of the people are going to have jollof plantain. You might know, you might know.
But there was other dishes there, babe. Don't
cool,
try it.
Cool. Do you know what Trauma done, right? So when because Christmas, generally you're looking forward to the jollof or the XYZ, from my perspective, personally, then now she said, okay, because my sister didn't like the pasta bake, therefore she doesn't like her. Like, literally, that's borderline rehab. Literally. No, respectfully. That's borderline rehab.
So I need to go to rehab.
I'm not saying you need to go,
So
but...
I made it up.
No, I'm just saying, yeah. Just the thought process behind it. It's a bit...
Tell me, have you always felt this way with the sister?
She has something to say about everything I do. Everything. The reason why I felt as though she was picking on me on Christmas was because she knew the dish I made, yeah? She didn't like it because she watched me make it. Everybody else on that table enjoyed the pasta bake. Paul enjoyed the pasta bake. I enjoyed it. We both know it tasted really, really nice. So why she had an issue with it is because she watched me make it. She has an issue with the way I dress. So I wear, not necessarily all the time, but I could wear fitting clothes. I could have a little bit of cleavage out. All of a sudden, it's too provocative.
Okay, look.
She dresses the same way I dress. So why is it such a problem?
All right, babe, let me... All right, I'll tell you where I will kind of agree, right? Well, not agree, but where
Really?
I kind of have a mere understanding of where she's coming from. So, you know, basically, Choma was on a YouTube program called Backchat, right? Now, with that program, the characters on that program are sometimes it comes across like they're a bit ratchet, hood, ghetto, you know, if you get... No, I'm saying the characters, not yourself. Yeah. Now, my sister is familiar with the program, okay? She knows that Choma was on the program. So obviously, automatically, you're going to kind of, you know, think, okay, maybe the person is like that. However, with time, as she started to get to know Choma, she's realized, okay, do you know what, Choma's not like that. And she's kind of, you know...
Warm to her?
Yeah.
When does she warm to me? Tomorrow? Because it hasn't happened yet. When has she warmed to me? Because as of 2-3 days ago, we had a little argument. So when has she warmed to me?
I don't think it's my place to say about her previous encounters, but she's never really met up or probably experienced somebody like me.
Regardless of the fact, you do shady things. On top of that, Denise, even his clientele for fitness, I can't do it. Like, it's just too many females. And he has to go to their houses as well. Like, that, for me, is very uncomfortable. It's just too many females.
So
I feel like
what exactly do you want? Because it seems like do you want me, or do you want the money that I'm making to buy you gifts? So if I'm not working, I'm not buying you gifts. I've got new clients that are women, cool, that is my market. If that's such a problem, get me clients then. Male clients, how about that?
I just feel like there needs to be a balance.
A balance?
Have a mixture of male and female clients. Okay. The female attention, let's just bring it down a bit, because you love it. You love it. You love it. You love it. Let's just...
How easy is it to get clients? I mean, presumably you advertise and then the clients come to you.
That's correct. So as I advertise, market, majority of my clients come through word of mouth or social media. So they are the ones contacting me. So I'm not really in control of my client coming in. So that's what I'm saying. If Deborah has such a big issue about my ratio of male to females, help me out then.
Jamel is too booky for me. We're always having issues about females. Like, am I dating Jamel or am I dating the females that he's supposedly working with, talking to? Like, it's just too much. It's dodgy, it's weird. I'm actually getting quite annoyed. I feel like it's quite insensitive of you to kind of not understand where I'm coming from. We spoke about this. You know about the previous situationships, let's call it, seeing as I ain't been in a relationship that I've been in. And you know, like, I'm naturally like a giving person. Like, I like looking after, like, you know, the guy that I'm with. Okay. But I feel like with those previous relationships, they kind of, they took advantage of that. And so for that reason, when he stops doing all these things to me, I kind of feel like we're going back into that cycle. And so I find it quite insensitive, because you know that, and you know how that made me feel.
Is there anything else he could do? He's spoken about these very expensive presents, but is there anything else he could do to show you, to make you feel more comfortable?
I just feel... I just think more straightforward answers. You know, if I ask you a question, just... You know, it's not, you have to be shaky about it. Like, just tell me where you're going. Just tell me what you're doing. Like, I don't know, like, am I doing something? Like, you don't want to, like, I don't know why. The phone situation for me is just a strange one, but I don't know, like, I don't really want to be telling him to be more loose with his phone. Like, he should just be natural. Do you get what I mean? I don't want to tell him, you know, make sure you leave your phone on the table so that I can have a peek at it. Do you get what I mean? It should just be more natural.
I'm here for peace and tranquility, if I'm best be honest. So
Since everyone wants to talk about Backchat, Paul, his mum, his sister, at the end of the day, Backchat put me on. Paul knows me because I was on Backchat, and I think I conducted myself properly on that show. Yeah, some people might have come and ruined this reputation, but for me, I conducted myself properly. I'm very respectful on Backchat and off Backchat, so I don't understand what the problem is.
I accept the fact that Trauma was on the show called Backchat, right? However, if my sister / people in general kind of paint her with that brush, then how can you blame them if you were on the program? I didn't send you there, you were there. It wasn't me, so what do you want me to do?
It makes no sense because this is someone that knows me off that platform. So you know how I genuinely am. Ideally, we should have a better relationship than we do now. But because she's such a bitch, yeah, because she's such a problem, she has an issue with me, we don't get along.
Let's go.
And Paul does not defend me.
No.
Paul, this is the way Shoma feels. That's how she's being made to feel.
Do you want to defend Trauma in calling my sister a bitch?
Listen.
Not at all.
Oh my God.
In fact, what I was going to suggest is that maybe moving forward, you could find a way of getting Shoma and your sister together in a way that would, you know, melt down this issue that Shoma's feeling.
Look, the way I see it is that could be arranged if need be.
It needs be. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's respect ourselves. Look, this is what it is, right? First of all, the bitch, just take that one back first.
I'll take it back, but you've heard my point.
Are you going to do it again?
Well, you don't do that.
Answer the question.
You see cameras around.
Okay,
chill.
wait. Was it the right thing that you done? No. Was it the right thing that you done?
I said
my sister a bitch?
She's not... Okay, listen, let me rephrase that because that might come across rude, all right? She acts like a bitch.
Oh, so you still want to associate my sister with that word?
Facts.
Is it her fault that you was on Backchat? Did she tell you to go on Backchat?
But I conducted myself properly and
that's not the point. You were still there.
So what does that mean? I'm proud to have been there. What's your point?
Excuse me.
So let's put some respect on Backchat and stop trying to talk about it like it's one piece of rubbish that they couldn't have a chance to be on anyway.
This is not going to work if you're both talking at the same time. So just for a second, please, you know, let's calm it down a little bit and let's talk rationally.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to be cheeky, by the way.
Carry on. She's literally giving you a floor to speak, so speak.
Are you going to let me speak or do you want to speak over me? Okay. The moral of the story, right, if you want to break it down in a nutshell, just the way she talks about stuff, okay, the kids, we're dumping the kids. The sister, she's a bitch. Come on. Like, anyone with half of a brain knows who is the antagonizing person in this situation.
Shoma, can you appreciate what he just said?
Why would I have a reason to lie on your sister? Do you not think I want a good relationship with your sister? She's just literally given us an opportunity where you can arrange a meeting where you and your sister, me and your sister can get together and have a talk. And you've just said if needs be. I've explained to you that I feel some type of way and you're not acknowledging that. You don't acknowledge anything when it comes to your family. So in other words, they can treat me like shit and I should respect them. Why? Because we're Nigerian? No, because at the end of the day, I'll be very honest, your sister's really treading on thin ice right now. Because I'm only respecting her.
You want to go again?
No,
okay.
babe.
No, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for
you. Listen.
Yeah.
Because I'm only respecting her because I love Paul and I respect his family. Yeah, but the way she's treating me, we're not far off of age, first of all, and I'm an adult. So you're not going to speak down on me because I'm dating your brother. I have brothers. I don't speak down on their partners. So I feel like she has too much shoulder in my relationship. And you need to tell her that it's you and I dating. I'm not dating your sister. Your sister and I don't have sex.
Can I just put...
She can't please you the way I'm pleasing you. So she needs to stay out. And you need to tell her, sorry.
Can I just put a spanner in the works here? Your sister obviously cares a lot for you.
She's too inner.
And it could be, I'm not saying it is, but it could be that your sister is actually worried about losing her brother to...
I think so. I think it's
the
jealousy.
Girlfriend. So actually, she loves you so much that she doesn't want someone to come in between you.
With my sister, we have a very good relationship. Obviously, we've been together since I was born, right?
So let her marry you then. I don't understand. How has your sister got to do with this?
Let me finish. Now, when you really think about it, in theory, she's seen all of my exes. So, you know, she's seen a pattern. She knows what I want out of a relationship. She knows what I want in terms of goals. So, obviously, if I'm going to pick a long-term life partner, right, and Choma, we're both married into each other's families, I think it's within her right to have an oversee on what could potentially be. Honestly,
I don't know what kind of relationship Paul and his sister have. I mean, I'm not insinuating anything, but it's a bit suspicious to me. Because I don't understand why she's in every single conversation we have. And he's always defending her. I mean, I'm your girl, defend me. At least once in a while, do you know what I mean? If that's what Paul wants, and that's, I don't know, maybe that's how they deal with each other and their family, I should be made aware, you know? So if my family, if my brothers were maybe slapping you every day, you would be happy about that.
Did my sister slap you?
No, she hasn't slapped me because she wouldn't dare.
So
she wouldn't dare slap me. What I'm trying to say is if my family was involved so much like your sister, not even your family, your sister, you would have an issue with that. Knowing you, knowing him, he would probably leave me because it's just too much to handle, okay? The thing is, she hasn't even given me a chance from the jump. Do you understand? So
that's why I'm saying it would be, you know, helpful to find a way of diffusing this emotion that you're feeling towards his sister.
Denise,
if she's not going to be respectful in my house, then she can stop coming.
Denise, what you're failing to understand is that there's this toxicness coming out of Choma towards my sister. The energy is going that way. It's not coming back. She needs to deal with what's inside her first, and then we can move on to heal the world. Choma, you need healing.
I need healing. I need healing from who? From your sister?
From yourself.
No, let me tell you something. I will heal perfectly if you stop her from coming to the house. Honestly, I won't complain again. If I don't have to see your sister again, maybe except Christmas and our wedding day, because we're getting married, then she doesn't, I will heal.
Okay, babe.
I won't have an issue with that, honestly, true to God. If you can do that for me, babe, then I'm fine. Since you don't want to listen.
Babe.
Pardon?
Paul would have an issue with that.
Well, then he's not taking into account what I am saying.
Babe.
His sister hates me.
Babe.
And he thinks that it's normal.
Babe, you need healing, babe.
Go away, man, because you're not listening to me.
The fact that she's bringing us here and she keeps on bringing it up, those are the type of things that she needs to deal with within herself. Self-healing, basically. That's what she needs to practice for herself. Because if you're still bringing up stuff since 19 how long, come on, how are we going to move on?
Deborah's never had a boyfriend before. And I feel like that is taking almost a toll within our relationship. All these expectations and expecting me to do particular things. Like, where is she actually getting these ideas from? What? Loving hip hop? Like, watching things on TV? Like, Deborah has this unrealistic view on relationships. Like, I just don't understand, like, who's in her ears? Her family, social media? Like, she's never actually experienced one. This is her first chance to actually experience one. Like, I'm tired of her just having this superficial opinion on what relationships are when she's never really been in one.
Is there a reason that you have never had a boyfriend before?
I don't know. I don't know the reason, but I have siblings. All my sisters, they all have boyfriends. So there's an expectation and there's a standard of guy that I'm going for. And I've expressed that to Jamel.
I feel like experiencing something compared to just seeing around you is two different things. I've explained to her this before, like, what it takes to be
I'm in a relationship. We've been together for a year.
You know what I mean?
Okay, Jamel, I find it quite insensitive. Jamel knows a lot about my past and my past situationships, let's call it, seeing as I haven't been in a relationship.
Tell me about that.
So, at a point in time, I lived with my auntie and my uncle, and I saw their relationship, and I did not like what I saw. I saw that my auntie would do everything for her husband, from the finances, from washing his clothes, the housework. And for me, I kind of vowed to myself, like, that's not a relationship. I don't want to ever be the woman doing that in a relationship. And for that reason, I'm very particular about how I want my guy to be. And actually, to answer your question, I think that's why my previous situationships, let's call it, hasn't worked. I was manipulated by this guy. I feel like he took advantage of me. You know, there's a lot of things that he did and I found myself doing, which is what I said I did not want to do. So one of the reasons why I did get with Jamel is because he didn't show me that at the start of the relationship. He was being that male figure. He was looking after me. He was buying me the gifts. So it's like now, when he's kind of like backtracking, it's very uncomfortable for me. And like I said, insensitive, because you know how I felt at that time. And you kind of met me after I came out of that situation with that guy. So.
Well, I'm sorry for making you feel like that, but I feel like just coming from that place, I definitely understand it. I feel like now we need to think about a solution to move forward. That's why we're here. And that's why I obviously brought her to therapy as well, because I feel like it's great for both of us, but as individuals as well, like we're still in a relationship, correct? But there's still things that we deal with as individuals. Like emotions and dealing with particular things, past traumas and situationships. And I've always been that safe space for her. She's been my peace of mind. And vice versa. Like, I feel like we're at our best when we actually understand what we're saying, we're communicating, we're getting what each other's saying. Like, she's beautiful inside out. And I tell Deborah this all the time.
It's great to hear you saying the word we. Because that's, you know, when you're in a couple situation, it's music to my ears to hear people saying, we like this, we do that, we do the other. Because that means you're working as a team. And for any relationship to work, it has to be teamwork. Do you think that there's a future of you two working as a team?
I would love to think so. I just hope it's mutual. That's the reason why we're here today. Like, we actually want to move past this. I see Deborah potentially being my wife. That's why I'm doing crazy things. Like, I'm working bonkers. Like, there's numerous things that I have aspirations for ourselves, and just continuously building.
I don't trust him, sorry. I'm sorry to say, like, I'm really sorry to say. I know you're trying to be sensitive and I appreciate that, babe. But at the same time, I'm not entirely happy, if I'm honest.